Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And tonight we're talking about the Outpost.
Season 4, Episode 3, The Gods Thank You.
It was a
good episode. I just don't really have a lot to say about it.
No. It was a good episode, but not much happened.
Aside from the fact that they released Garrett. And Felista is basically using fear to make them loyal to her, and anybody who's not is going to die. Basically. And that's not how you gain their loyalty.
No.
It's literally like they're being controlled,
right?
And it's like a dictatorship.
And Tobin is trying to figure out how shake works.
And Tobin is becoming an alcoholic.
Again.
He's becoming a drunk.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
But, he's learning how to use his powers.
And there's definitely more to Luna than you know.
Mm-hmm. She's a freaking assassin. She goes around killing people, but she's bothered by seeing a pile of 20 bodies.
I think it probably just reminded her of, like, her people, maybe. Like, her sister.
She never, when her sister died, she never saw her sister again.
Well, I don't know. Just seeing all of that and, like, the big thing on their head probably just traumatized her.
True. She is young. I forget that sometimes.
Because just because she's an assassin doesn't mean something like that wouldn't still be like, what the hell?
Yeah. So it's just, there are some extra layers to Luna that I'm interested in learning about. I want Tobin to stay on the side of good. I don't want him to fall prey to the power of the three.
Mm-hmm.
That he's able to gain control and keep himself at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be manipulated by Felista. And he's trying not to be. You can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he doesn't know where loyalty ends, and he doesn't know where that line is.
Right.
And he feels indebted because of the 20 lives that were lost.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to pretend like it doesn't bother him, but that's why he's drinking.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Like he's trying to forget about the lives that, so this 21 people that died to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
The 20 this time and the one last time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard.
Yeah. And then, I liked the moment with Ren and Talon.
Mm-hmm. When she realized that Ren was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like, and Zed too, when he's not being a complete ass.
Right, I loved that. We got to see that Zed might have a pending lady love.
Mm-hmm.
You've been away for a long time. Too long.
Do you think Garrett's gonna... I don't think Garrett's gonna succeed in trying to kill Felista.
No. Nope. I really don't. But I am happy that they're actually moving along faster than they did last season. We're getting to the gods now.
Because wiping out 2 would be more, it would be the better option than trying to go after Felista.
It would be.
Because 2 is the one
she's powerless.
Who's manipulating her.
Yeah.
And who is killing people to gain power.
She's really the one person that, doesn't like, she really can't do anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Her
so she's
one
using
ability,
Felista to gain that power.
Right, because she doesn't have an offensive power.
Yeah.
Like the other two do.
Right.
So, I think if they, like, killed two, I wouldn't be opposed to Ren getting the Kinge.
Yeah.
To her becoming two.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a high priestess, it would help, you know, like, I think she would use it wisely.
Yeah.
I think she'd only do it for, like, people who, like, let me lay down my life, you know, like, she'd only do it with people who, like, voluntarily lay down their lives to bring someone back. You know, like, she'd do it responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, you know, I think she would be the best choice for that. Because I don't see her, like, when either Felista, like, sees the error of her ways, or she just goes batshit crazy. And right now she's just going batshit crazy, but she hasn't gotten to that point yet, you know? So, I think right now it's just, like, her, like, who she is still being decided. It's still in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And, because she doesn't even know who she is right now. And, I think if they do end up having to kill Felista, I don't know who I would want to get that Kinge.
Either Talon or Ren.
Talon can't. She already has the blue Kinge.
Mm-hmm.
And Talon really wouldn't want it.
Yeah. Doesn't Ren have a Kinge though?
No. But I don't think Ren should take the red Kinge. I think she should take the green one. She should be two.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know who should be one. You know?
Yeah.
Like, if Felista doesn't keep the Kinge, who would be one? Like, I don't want Garrett to have one.
He wouldn't do it because he's so against that.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was controlled by them before, he wouldn't want to have the Kinge.
Right. So I don't know.
There's really only like a few
unless we become, like, connected to one of the adults in this new group of Black Bloods that they're bringing through.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, and they get the red Kinge, I might be okay with that, depending on who it is and if we like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a whole lot of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that Tobin is like, no, they're monsters. You know, the gods.
Yeah, but Felista might convince him that they're not.
Yeah. I don't know about that, though. Like,
because if he doesn't go along with Felista, then she will use her Kinge on him and make him
no.
listen to her.
And she won't use her Kinge on him unless he attacks her.
Yeah.
Because she loves him too much.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's not like she can control him with it, you know.
Yeah. And he has one too, so she can't use it on him.
Exactly.
He has two's Kinge, and she tried to use it on two before, and she couldn't use it on him. Or three's Kinge. And she tried to use it on three before, and she couldn't, and so then Tobin killed him, and he got it.
Because the Kinge can't be used on another Kinge.
Yeah.
So, which is a nice fail-safe. But yeah, Zed's brother's dead.
Corbin.
Yeah. That was sad. Ren will fail without me.
At least he got the manuscripts. At least he saved her mother's text.
Yes.
There's that.
I assumed he did. You know?
Yeah.
Because he's just like, he's that type of person, you know, like, I didn't see him not doing that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I like when, like, they found the kids, he's like, I saved them. And the girl behind was like, she had a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think he had a lot of help. Mm-hmm. But, you know, she's trying to be sensitive to his, like, disposition.
Right.
And, I mean, you know, I think it was good for him in that final, you know, in that final bit of his life, you know, I'll be like, I saved these kids, you know, and like, so his brother could know the impact that he had in his final moments on, you know, their people. And I like that his final act, was to save whoever the bow was going to hit, you know, the bolt. And it was either going to be Ren or Zed. Couldn't really tell. Yeah. But I like that either way, he was willing to step in front of it. Mm-hmm. And I love, you know...
I mean, I think in his mind, he saw it about to hit Ren. Right. And so he jumped out because of how he feels about Ren.
Right.
I mean, even though Zed is his brother, like, I feel like in that moment, he was protecting Ren.
Of course. But, like, I mean, I think there's some level in his mind that was like, it's either going to hit one of them. Mm-hmm. You know, like, even though he stepped in front of it to save Ren, like, I think some part of him, you know, even though, like, the majority of him is lost to insanity, you know, like, he still loves his brother. Yeah. You know, like, even though he can't show it, I think if he was still all there, he would have done it even if it was aimed at his brother. Yeah. You know? But I like that his last words were like, you know, we're like,
thank you for keeping promise.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. His last words were to his brother, acknowledging that, you know, he still loved his brother and he wasn't abandoned by him. You know. Yeah. Like, especially seeing how they met up last season, like, that was, you know, to see it come to this, was rewarding. So it was.
I mean, Munt being Tobin's. His girlfriend is Felista's, and Munt is Tobin's.
Yeah. Yeah. I think once Munt kind of gets down what he's supposed to do, and he does it a few more times, he'd be a lot better at it.
Yeah.
And I like that Tobin told him, you know, like, you can advise me, you know? Like, because Munt's, like, even though he's Munt,
yeah,
he's not entirely stupid.
No.
You know, he's a war hero.
Yeah, I mean, he has some intelligence.
Right. And I think this is a position that he can thrive in. You know, even though he might not understand things, he might say the wrong thing, maybe let something slip he's not supposed to. You know, like, things like that, which will happen because it'll drive the story and is Munt, so everyone will be okay with it eventually.
Yeah.
Like, they can't blame Munt. You have to blame yourself for telling Munt. You know? So, I think Munt will, I think he'll grow and thrive in this new position, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in this type of role.
I think it'll be good for him.
I like that his girlfriend was totally, like, awkward when they were talking about Kinjis, and she like dropped stuff. She's like, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
She's totally not comfortable in her position.
No.
And she doesn't like it. I think
it makes me feel like it makes me think of Gwen and Morgana. Because Gwen is Morgana's servant.
Yes, but Gwen liked it. Like she was more than a servant to Morgana. She was a best friend. You know, and confidant.
At first.
Yeah.
And then Morgana turned.
Morgana went batshit crazy.
Morgana turned and then it all went to crap.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, it's just there's some characters who's having a new story that I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. You know? I could care fuck shitless what Garrett does right now.
I mean, they won't make him, like, they won't get rid of him because it's Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they'll put him in positions that, you know, are going to be like that, but they won't full on, like, get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because he's the main character, so.
Yep. I miss Gwen.
Yeah. I miss Gwen and Tobin.
Yes.
I still don't really like Felista. Because I don't feel like she's genuine.
She's not. I don't think she knows how to be. I think maybe when they were younger, she was totally genuine with Tobin and everything. But once she was married off to whoever the fuck, I think that's when she lost who she was.
Yeah.
And she had to put on a charade for so long. She doesn't know who she is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And being put into a seat of... I think she was starting to discover who she was when Gwen was queen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was learning about herself.
Yeah.
She was... You know, she had someone to follow, someone she could look up to and be friends. And then with the loss of Gwen, she doesn't know... Like, she's suddenly in a world where, like, everybody looks at her with disdain. When Gwen looked at her like, you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, Talon doesn't believe in her. Like, no one believes in her.
Mm-hmm.
And Gwen was really the only one who did that. Even though they both shared a love for Tobin, Gwen was willing to put trust and faith in Felista. And, you know, respect her in everything.
Yeah.
And stand up for her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think without that, I mean, Tobin does what he can, but, you know, he's Tobin.
Yeah.
And they're married. So, like, it's like... And she always has that thought in the back of her mind, like, if Gwen was still here, you'd want her more. You know, like, you're only with me because Gwen's dead now. You know, like, it's always going to be there for her. So, she'll always be hesitant around Tobin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gwen was the only person she could ever really be true with.
Mm-hmm.
And with that person gone and no one bolstering her up the way Gwen did, she doesn't know who she is. And looking for who you are while you have a seat of power, it's really easy to become corrupt and lose who you are again and never find yourself.
Yeah.
And I hope she does find herself.
I hope she does too. Because at the rate that it's going, she's not.
No. I foresee her realizing that the gods are evil. I could see herself in a last-ditch effort to prove herself as a benevolent person. I could see her sacrificing herself eventually. You know?
Or
like not now.
Or two could end up wanting the power so badly that she could just try to kill Felista.
But she can't kill Felista because the only way she can do that is with her Kinge.
I
know. But
she could try.
Yeah. I think that the only way to I can foresee a future where the only way to seal the white and black Kinge gods back is to sacrifice the 3. Mm-hmm. I can see that being the end game.
That might be what they end up doing.
And I can see someone taking...
And then Felista and Tobin would be gone.
Yeah.
Because they have the other 2 Kinges.
Right. I can see Tobin being totally prepared to do that. And Felista...
Because he wants to die. He wants to stay dead. He wants to still be dead anyway. He doesn't want to be back here. He doesn't want to be alive anymore.
Right, but since he is, he's trying to, come to terms with it. But I think that Felista will eventually see the error of things. I do have faith in her.
Hopefully.
Yes. I do have some sort of faith in her. Like, it's minuscule, but it's
We have 10 more episodes.
Yeah. And so I can see that happening. Someone has to kill 2 and take her Kinge, but that's doable.
Well, like I said, the way to end this is to get rid of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's the one who's causing the problem.
Right.
She's the one who's manipulating Felista and Tobin, and she killed all these people who were not loyal to the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So she could have the power.
Yeah.
So, she's manipulating Felista to agree with her and do these things so that she can gain power.
Mm-hmm. I think
Felista's not gaining any power.
No.
She's just puppet. She's just using fear to try to get these people to be loyal to her.
You don't get loyalty by fear.
That's called a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Using fear to make them support you.
Yeah. And
if they don't, killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Or making their life a living hell.
Yep.
So, yeah. Power is not about fear.
Mm-mm.
It shouldn't be about fear.
No. True power is the love of the people.
Yeah. And that was what Gwen had.
Mm-hmm.
She had their loyalty because she loved her people.
And they loved her.
Yeah.
I think I can see this ending with Talon getting the crown. Even though she doesn't want it.
I mean, at the end of the day, the show is essentially about Talon.
Mm-hmm.
It is Talon's story.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I can see that happening.
I
can see that happening even though she doesn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's almost like Emma in Once Upon a Time. She's like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to be the one who freaking ends this curse. But I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only way, in the end, the only way that might be to unite the people is to have Talon be queen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a job she does not want. But that might be the only way for things to have peace. That might be the only way for them to have peace.
Mm-hmm.
Is for that to happen.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, she's the face of the show. She's on all the posters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's her story.
Right.
So, even though there's other characters
mm-hmm.
and other stories, essentially it is about Talon.
Right. And I think that on the either like the episode before or on the day of coronation, they'll seal the 3 away. Like how
for eternity.
Like how they found Zed's Kinge.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll do that with 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
They'll seal those powers away.
Never to be opened again.
I mean, who knows? I mean, they were found previously.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
But
well, we don't know how much longer the show's going to go on after season 4.
But I'm saying that like the show ends with that happening. Like they seal 1, 2, and 3 away.
I mean, like, we may get
just the
Kinges, but I don't think it's going to go like a long time.
I wish it would because I want to see beyond the Outpost.
Like I think that it would go probably at least 5 seasons. If it gets more, then that's great. But I don't see it getting more than about 5. Right.
I just wish we could explore the world more, instead of just this, oh, look, there's this tiny little human settlement. It's an outpost and a kingdom. Well, the kingdom's not the entire world.
Right.
Are there other human kingdoms?
We do see outside of the outpost sometimes.
In season 1.
But I mean, like, when they travel and go places, we see outside.
Oh, yeah, to the rest of the kingdom.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm talking about beyond the border.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are there other human settlements? What if there's other black blood settlements in the other human settlements? Yeah. What if they're living in peace? Or what if there's an entire black blood settlement by itself out there somewhere?
That could be a possibility because, her mom's text, like, if they give her information about the history of her people and her culture, she might find out that there's some other communities around them.
Right.
And they might explore that with them going outside of the kingdom and showing that there are other kingdoms where there are some of those black bloods left that all got killed. Or some of the others of that same race of black bloods that had died before.
Like, maybe the only thing that cut them off was the creatures that are outside the border now that were making the stuff that turned people into monsters a couple seasons ago. Like, with the thing in the mouth and the stinger.
I don't remember what it was called.
Neither do I. But like, what if those used to be people and they got sick, and that's just a disease that went rampant, and now it cut off all kingdoms from each other, and like, there's other, like, what if there's black blood temples out there that could help them understand their ancient past? And, like...
And like I said, I think that now that she has her mom's ancient texts, she'll be able to see that there are, and maybe they'll explore that.
Yeah.
So.
Because, obviously there's some sort of ancient temple somewhere
don't
where
give up hope they could do that.
Death and life are,
Yeah, don't give up hope. They could still explore that.
Yeah. So, like, there's so much more that they can do, and I would love to see them do it.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. So, I guess until next time, keep fighting for what you believe in.